easy it is to make delicious smothered chicken wings, Gina Young style. This recipe right here, it's so amazing. It tastes good. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some wings. Make sure your wings are nice and fresh. I have washed them off using lemon juice, salt, and cold water, and then I've pat them dry with a paper towel. You're gonna need some vegetables. I have different colored bell peppers because, believe it or not, each bell pepper lets off a different flavor, and they're beautiful in your recipe, right? You're gonna need a nice sweet Vidalia onion, and for those that like celery, they'll use some celery in there. You're gonna need a can of cream of chicken. If for some reason you don't want to use cream of chicken soup, you can use a cream of mushroom soup. You're going to need 3 packets of chicken gravy. And for those that would like to make homemade gravy, have fun with that, okay? We're gonna be serving our smothered chicken with stuffing. Just the quick kind always satisfies me, right? All right, so you're gonna use some spices to make everything come together and taste good. We're gonna be using salt and pepper, garlic and onion powder, paprika, and Italian seasoning. Make sure your hands are impeccably clean. Let's smother these wings. One ingredient I almost forgot to tell you all about. We're gonna be using some cooking oil so that we can coat our wings. I hope y'all are having a great day today. Anybody in the comment section below, let me know, have you ever tried smothered chicken wings? If you haven't, you're in for a treat. You're gonna love how simple this recipe, and you're also gonna love how good it tastes. My family is super excited for this recipe. I don't blame them. So the first thing that I'd like to do is I'm going to take my cooking oil, and I'm just using a vegetable oil, and I want to just really get that oil onto the chicken so that our skin can be nice and crispy, right? We're baking these wings in the oven before they even get smothered in that lovely gravy. We want to bake them up, and when they bake up, we want the skin to be nice and crispy, right? Absolutely. And that's what this oil will help to do. Not only will it do that, but it'll also help for your spices to adhere very well to the chicken, okay? So I'm gonna do this, and when we flip them over, we'll be doing the other side. Lovely. So now there's one thing that I like to do, and I always tell people, if you're cooking chicken wings and you're not taking this wingtip part off, I want you to take the wingtip and kind of fold it behind itself like this so it looks a little bit better, right? You don't want it to look like it's gonna fly away. Take this time to season up our wings and give it some good flavor. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to season, y'all. Give the food some flavor. If you're afraid to season, it'll be flavorless, right? Don't say it's Gina Young's recipe if you didn't give it enough flavor, right? It's funny when I say that, but I'm so serious. Don't never do that. Don't be afraid to season and then you brag about how it's Gina Young's recipe. Don't you do that. Or don't leave ingredients out and then you brag about how this is Gina Young's recipe. I can't. Don't do that to me, y'all. Don't you dare do that. All right, so now I've put the salt and pepper, and I'm going in pretty heavy on my spices. Okay, be mindful of how much salt you use, you know, of course. Let me move this chicken wing so I can get that one at the bottom nice and seasoned. Lovely. We're gonna put some onion powder, paprika, if you like Italian seasoning, and if not, you can use a poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning is amazing. I'll either do one or the other when it comes to chicken, poultry seasoning or Italian. So whichever one you like, put you some in there. Gorgeous. It looks and it smells beautiful. We're going to flip these wings over and do the other side, just like so, quick and simple. Let's get the other side going. Oh, I want to put my oil on. Don't forget. This is the top side. Gorgeous. And once again. There we go. Nice. Do you guys have great weather where you're at right now? I seen the other day somebody had showed me that they had snow in front of their house, and I almost couldn't believe it, but it was real. It's beginning to get beautiful outside. I am loving this weather. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. We've been sitting outside every morning having coffee in pajamas. That's how warm it's been. And just really enjoying our evening. We played Wheel of Fortune, I think, that's the game. We played that outside the other evening. It was so much fun. I love the hot weather. The cold weather is not for me. It's never been for me. So now you're going to preheat your oven to 365 degrees. We want to take our wings that have been seasoned and put them into our baking dish. I'm using I believe it's a 9x13 baking dish. And I'm going to just put them in just like so. We'll probably put about a half a cup of broth in the bottom of the pan. If you don't have broth, just use some water. And we're gonna bake this in the oven. I'm cooking a family pack of chicken wings and it just didn't fit inside of that pan. So I have one of my favorite pans here that's oven proof that I'm gonna use to cook our chicken in. All right, I've put that half a cup of water in just to kind of get the chicken to go. We're gonna add some flavor to our pan of chicken. We're gonna take your desired amount of vegetables, the different colored bell peppers, and a nice sweet Vidalia onion. If you wanted to use a fresh clove of garlic, absolutely you could. Not too small, not too big of pieces. Break them down. You can slice them or dice them. I'm going to dice mine. And we're just going to make sure that these lovely vegetables get roasted in that pan with the chicken, right? Put them on the top, nestle them in the bottom, whatever you have to do. Just get them into the pan. It's always preferable that you use different colors to make your dish super beautiful, right? And that's what I'm always aiming for. All right, there's that. This is all I need with the peppers. And then we're going to cut that sweet onion, and this is going to go into the oven. All of my recipes, what you guys are going to notice about me is my recipes are super simple. If you follow them in detail, and I'm always teaching you guys in detail how to make the recipe, it's always going to turn out right for you. Let's get our peppers just nice and scattered all over that gorgeous chicken, and then we're going to tackle this beautiful sweet onion. Anytime you see me using an onion, most of the time it's a Vidalia onion because they're so lovely and they taste so amazing, especially when you're cooking them up. I don't need this huge onion. So we're going to really break this onion down by a nice amount. Okay, let's get it right into our pan, and I think I'll go ahead and just slice the onion. I don't want to play around with this onion too much or it'll start messing with my eyes, you know. This right here, this should be plenty enough because see now, these vegetables are going to roast. Yes, they're going to roast, and they're also going to give that gravy that we make amazing flavor. Into the oven. I figured you all wouldn't mind watching me make my delicious stuffing. So I have already measured out the required amount of your broth or water. It's in the pan, and we're going to put some butter in there. I put a nice amount. I got two different kinds, but it's still dressing, right? Or stuffing. What do you call it? All right. So now once my butter gets nice and melted, we're going to put our stuffing in. We're going to give it a nice stir, cover it up, and take it off of the stove, and it's pretty much done. How simple, right? Absolutely it is. I love stuffing with chicken. Perfect. With our gravy, I don't want to make it up too early. Once I see that my chicken is like 95% of the way cooked, then you'll see me come back on and we'll make that gravy. And with our gravy, we're going to be mixing in that 1 can of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom. It's so delicious. Our water has begun to slightly boil. The butter is nice and melted, so we're then going to go right in with our seasoned croutons here. The seasoning is right inside of this packet for those that's never made stuffing this way, okay? I'm going to use 2 because my family sure loves this. There are times that I'll get the kind that is cornbread flavor, and then like the chicken or the turkey flavor, mix the 2 together and it's amazing, right? So now let's give it a nice mix around. You literally are just gonna make sure that everything is nice and wet in the pan, cover it up, take it off the stove, and then it's done. I love this stuff. And you will too. I got a nice cup of coffee. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy. And when I come back, we'll be taking our chicken out of the oven, making up our gravy, and pouring that gravy all over that chicken. Our chicken is almost done. So now it's the perfect time to throw together this quick and simple gravy that tastes absolutely amazing. So now listen to me. These gravy packets are so delicious. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you this. But guess what? This is not the one that I usually use. The kind that I usually use is the McCormick kind, and it comes in a red package, okay? Comes in a red package, chef's kiss. So now what these packages require you to do is just use a cup of a cup of water a package. So I got 3 packages. I got 3 cups of water in here. You're gonna bring it up to a nice boil. Once it begins to boil, we'll pour our gravy in. And once our gravy's nice and thick, then we're gonna put this in. That's gonna make this gravy taste absolutely amazing. Make gravy. All right, so our water is boiling. The whole house smells absolutely amazing. That chicken smells gorgeous. Right, get all that lovely goodness right out of that packet. And like I said, if you want to make homemade gravy, go ahead, right? Absolutely you can. A lot of times I do. I make my own gravy. But this, it's just as good. Gorgeous. We're going to stir this, and don't never worry if you see some lumps in here, because once we put this into the oven and we begin to let it smother that chicken, all of those lumps will dissolve, so no worries there. Gravy is perfect. Let's go ahead and put that cream of chicken in. I love the flavor of cream of chicken in my gravy. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Take our chicken out, pour this onto the chicken, and smother it really in the gravy as long as you want. Tell me how gorgeous that chicken is. Look how beautiful. So now take the gravy, pour it right on top. And this is how you smother gravy. Don't be afraid to have that gravy go all over. If you feel your gravy might get a little thick, just cover it with foil. It'll create some steam and it'll thin out your gravy, so no worries there. Back into the oven. When I come back, you're gonna get that first bite. You're gonna get to see how I plate it up. That right there is what you call smothered chicken Gina Young style. Make it some. If y'all enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Tell the world what Gina's doing in this kitchen on a daily basis. We thank you for this meal today. Amen. See, if you want that first bite, come right on in. I'm going right in for the dressing first because it's not as hot as this chicken. Look, you see that? Did you see how easy that pulled right off? I'm gonna taste that. That's a good part. That's a good part. My goodness. Now, for the meat. Oh my goodness, all that gravy on that. Make you some. You are going to love this recipe. Good night.